Paddington is a cute and beloved icon in British fiction. He wears a large red hat and a sort of overcoat. That was the extent of my knowledge of this furry gentleman prior to the character's big screen debut back in 2014. By 2017, although I happened to see a few images in passing, I still hadn't seen Paddington in its entirety, nor its follow-up. But I heard teachers of mine at film school raving about these movies, primarily the sequel. While I certainly took notice of the astronomically high Rotten Tomatoes scores these bear flicks were pulling in. Well, 2025 commenced recently, and my procrastinating rear end still hadn't sat down to view even a frame of poor Paddington. Though, given the fact that while the picture was released in late 2024 in the UK, February 14th marks the North American release of Paddington in Peru, of which I was constantly reminded, a la a cinema standee. I was quite recently, at least subconsciously, urged to finally check out this now critically hailed trilogy. At last, a few nights ago, I viewed the 2014 picture, and I am pleased to report that Paddington is a genuinely phenomenal family film. The cast is marvelous, everyone evidently understanding the assignment. Nicole Kidman and Peter Capaldi, for example, are having a blast here in this stylized sort of live-action cartoon. James Bond alumnus Ben Whishaw does a lovely job voicing our lovable titular bear, whilst a collection of sensational Harry Potter alumni also get in on the fun, namely Julie Walters, who portrayed Molly Weasley, Jim Broadbent, who played Potions Master Horace Slughorn, Imelda Staunton, who utterly killed it in the role of the ruthless and malicious Dolores Umbridge, as well as the late great Michael Gambon, who took up the mantle of the late great Richard Harris's Hogwarts headmaster, Albus Dumbledore. Downton Abbey's Hugh Bonneville and The Shape of Water's Sally Hawkins round out this impressive cast beautifully, the pair being the human highlights of the flick, and the heart of it as well, alongside their eventual little chum, of course. They each bring such sincerity to their roles. The computer-generated imagery is perpetually wonderful, as these talking animals fit fantastically into their respective environments. The bloody brilliant direction and the consistently creative, whimsical, and versatile cinematography constitute a pair of elements that, without hyperbole, is of the truly elite sort. Paddington is a bit of a personal cinematic anomaly in that typically, when it comes to movies more so geared toward a familial viewing audience, those that are particularly high on my list of favorite films are particularly emotionally effective and profound, and have forced me to weep on more occasions than I care to admit. And although it is certainly heartwarming, this film did not deliver that gut punch for me, nor was it really trying to, and yet I found it to be nearly flawless. It's really quietly charming, it's excellently cohesive and sure of what it is on all fronts. This grin-inducing picture is about finding a home away from home and acceptance, open-mindedness. I'm very much looking forward to watching chapters 2 and 3 of this tale, and I'm so glad I hopped on the Paddington train in time for me to catch the threequel at the cinema.